Hey all, welcome to the fourth in the series on my recommendations for comms practitioners in 2026. So we have talked about the first three. The next one, which I think that every comms practitioner should seriously think about this January, is crisis management and putting together your crisis management plans. As we have seen, crisis can hit you at any time, and you need to be prepared to deal with the crisis when it happens. Now, this is one definition of crisis management that I saw, which I thought would be interesting to share with you. It says that crisis management is the structured approach organizations and government, and I think that it's important that I add governments, use to prepare for, respond to, and recover from unexpected events that threaten people, organizations, operations, reputations, or stability. These events can range from natural disasters, cyber attacks, to financial disruption, health emergencies, or reputational incidents. And last year, I think we saw a reputational incident play out in real time at that Coldplay concert. And while you might think that everything will be fine, yes, and I'm trusting God with you that everything will be fine, but we have also seen, at least in the last 6 years, that things that we did not even think was possible is happening, and at a very rapid pace. And so after COVID, we have seen things that have shaken the world at its core, and with it, the organizations that operate in the world. And so you need to think about what you will do when a crisis hits. Whether it is a reputational crisis like we saw in the Coldplay incident last year, or even economic uncertainties. We are seeing a lot of shaking going on economically, and it's important that you plan and prepare to deal with economic uncertainties should they hit your organization. Then there is social and political unrest. We are a few days into 2026. And yet, we might be at the brink of war if you listen to everything that is happening around the world. And so you need to think about what you will do when crisis comes up, which has to do with socio-political events. And then finally, cybersecurity threats. In the last few years, we have seen a lot of cyber attacks. There have been instances where whole airports have been shut down. Universities have had to rethink their cybersecurity systems because of compromises and cyber attacks. And so you need to think about what you will do when a crisis hits. And as always, because it's me, I will add a scripture. And so, like I said, I hope nothing happens. But even Jesus told his disciples this in Luke chapter 21, verse 6. It says, "But stay awake at all times, praying that you may have the strength to escape all these things that are going to take place and stand before the Son of Man." For you, standing before the Son of Man will be that your crisis management plan is in place and you are able to respond to the crisis very well. These are a few things that I suggest that you think about in thinking through your crisis management plan. I said if you have an old one, dust it up, relook at it, and refresh it. And so these are the three things that I'll say you should look at when it comes to your crisis management plan. The first thing is to go back and do a risk assessment or risk analysis. What are the things that could hit us anytime soon as an organization, and how will we deal with it when it hits us? The next thing is that your environmental scanning has to be on point. You cannot operate in a silo. You need to know what is happening in your organization, in your industry, in your country, and around the world. Because if an airport in Britain has a cyber attack, then you should know that you could have a cyber attack too as an organization, and you need to prepare adequately for it. And then finally, create real-time communication and alert systems. If something happens, what will you do? Who will speak on your behalf? Do you have your holding statements ready? Do you know who the spokespeople will be, when they will speak, how they will speak, which channels you will use? You need to have all of those things ready and prepared before the day of disaster hits. Please go back if you have a crisis management plan, relook at it, go through the whole process again, and consider all the risks that your organization can likely face, and put in place a crisis management plan that will work. It might also mean that you may have to do some simulation exercises to ensure that when the crisis actually hits, you will be able to deal with it. If you do not have a crisis management plan at all, this is a good time to think about a crisis management plan as an organization. And if you need help and support, just send me a DM and I'll be happy to help you. As always, I've enjoyed bringing this to you, and I hope to see you with my last recommendation. Thank you and bye.